You are watching SlabberSesh. The next video is a SlabberSesh on SlabberSesh. I feel like that needs to be abbreviated into something. It seems like too many seshes in a sentence. Anyway, that aside. So I am Mean Machine Dean, and yeah, Mike has been very kind to let me do the introduction to this video. Now, if you don't know too much about me, I am a Twitch streamer as well as a YouTuber. You can find out a little bit more about me with the details just to the side of me there. Yeah, so Mike came onto my Twitch stream. He sent me a huge box of Amiga goodness. So thank you very much for that, Mike. Much appreciated. And yeah, I also have a podcast. If you want to learn a little bit more, just search for Mean Machine Talks and you'll see everything there. Or you can visit meanmachinedean.com and there's all sorts of information about myself on there. Anyway, on to the video. Enjoy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
And welcome to another, I've forgotten what they're called now.
SlabberSesh.
SlabberSesh. Slabber means to idly talk about something
For a length of time.
for a length of time. Supposedly.
And that's what we're going to do today with...
Spexxy, Retrospecs,
Either way,
Yeah.
Spexxy or Retrospecs, you can take your pick.
2 channels. Tell us about them.
So,
I mean, sorry, normally at this point we say, why is your name blah blah blah? Why is it... You like retro games, you wear glasses.
yeah, that's it, you've got it.
Yeah.
You've nailed it.
I'm
So that's
glad
pretty
that-
much it. So yeah,
My greatest granddad
yeah,
was actually...
yeah,
retro.
because I wear specs, that's it. Yeah, I'm Spexy. So I started a YouTube channel originally called Retrospecs. It didn't really cover much retro content, which was a little bit probably misguiding.
Okay.
But it was pretty popular for something else, a lot more the indie titles, and
Okay, yeah.
particularly a game called Scrap Mechanic, which boosted me up to over 6,000 subscribers
Right.
on that channel. But my real love was retro, and I kind of realised that, and it was burning me out making the videos for that channel. I still do have both, but I'm trying to focus more on the retro side of things, because that's where my heart is. So
yeah. And when you are a content creator and you play a game for a few hours, and then you've got like at least another few hours of editing ahead of you, if you're not doing what you actually love and you enjoy, that's going to become quite wearing.
and
rather
it's
quick.
going to come across in the content that you're producing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
people will see that and they'll think, yeah, he's not enjoying
Not the
this.
same enthusiasm.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to
So
put out the best product you want.
yeah, so that's why I was getting with the other channel. And as much as I'd love to boost that, my heart wasn't in it as much as it is retro. So I rebranded the name of Retrospecs for my new channel, which is Retrospecs,
Yep.
and renamed the old channel just Spexy because that was more
Right.
personal to me,
Yep.
and it fits in more with the indie scene and not being retro tied.
Indeed.
So it kind of makes more sense now. So there is the two, you've got a choice.
Yeah. And you still upload to both,
I do, not as regularly as I'd love to, and that's something I've got to work on. So
but they are active.
they are active, yeah, definitely they're active. I do put stuff out there, like I say, something I do want to do more of, and also I do have a Twitch, which I'm getting a little bit more into streaming because it's easier than producing content and editing and everything else. I love the editing, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, I do, I absolutely love it.
There are some points when like you see something or you say something, and you do it in stitches, especially because we're a duo, right?
Yeah,
So Pete will say something, and I'm like, what did you just say? And then I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I've got to
yeah,
cut
yeah,
that out,
yeah,
and I've got to
yeah.
zoom in on your face, and then put a cat over your head or something. But yeah, and I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off when I'm editing.
yeah, so my biggest problem before coming to this is my first Play Expo. So before
Okay.
coming here, nobody had seen me. Because on neither of my channels did I ever show my face. Only recently on Twitch streams have I ever shown my face.
Okay.
So no one had an idea what I looked like.
Yeah.
And I now realise how I was doing myself out of or into more work, because without my face on those videos, I have to find more source material to fill the video. So if I'm
Yeah,
doing a
of course,
documentary video, the amount of work it takes to find the source material, because I'm not there, I could take some of that up if I'm just talking to the camera
Yeah, yeah.
with a picture
Yeah,
in the corner.
fill the
But,
scenes.
Yeah.
but I'm having to find everything. So I think the future may be seeing more of me.
Definitely.
Sorry about that. You know. It's not pretty, but yeah,
That's what I got.
I've just got to work with it.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, I think that's kind of where I want to go. So you will see more of me, definitely.
And what is it that you're doing on the streams?
Retro gaming mostly, but a bit of both. So indie
Yeah.
gaming, retro gaming, just gaming in general.
Yeah.
So
I've got to say, we obviously focused on the retro stuff, but you find yourself just playing other games that you enjoy. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, I like modern games. I like retro games.
Yeah.
Like I say, my heart's in the retro games, and that's not to say I don't play AAA modern titles.
Exactly,
Of course, I do every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say The Witcher 3 is not a great game.
Oh, it is a great game. You know?
Right. Speaking of games,
Yes.
what was the first game? It's Pong, isn't it, Pete?
Is
No.
it Pong?
No.
No.
What's the
No.
first?
No.
It's got to be Pong.
The first video game, technically, if we include an oscilloscope as a video, is Tennis for Two. I would say that's my argument. Tennis for Two is the first video game, I believe. In my opinion,
I know.
And there will be debate over that, but it's definitely not Pong.
You showed us video footage of it, and it does.
Yeah.
I would consider it a video
I would
game.
as well.
for sure.
I would as well.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we were at the pub when we first discussed this, hence our question styling. But yeah, you went into great depth about how it was, how there were other systems as well. I can't.
Yeah. So
Was there a golfing one as well?
there's no golf.
They're all tennis games.
It was tennis games at the beginning, so yeah, you had the Pong clones. So there was arguably, obviously, Tennis for Two was the predecessor to all of those.
Yeah.
But the big battle was between Atari and Magnavox over who came up with the idea of the tennis game.
Right.
And technically speaking, Magnavox probably did, but Atari won that lawsuit. It was messy.
Okay.
But so everyone remembers Pong as being the first video game, and it really isn't. Even as a home console, it isn't, because the Magnavox Beat It was the first home console. The Magnavox Odyssey was the first home console ever made.
History's been rewritten.
It's
It's
Pretty much.
You heard it here probably a lot. But yeah, and we actually Googled it in the pub because Pete and I were like, no, what the fuck are you on
It's gotta
about?
be a Pong.
And we were like, oh yeah, actually, if you look at the article, it says Pong was the first video game. So you thought, but actually, in like, what year was it?
So Tennis for
Tennis for
Two
Two?
is 1950 something. I can't remember.
Wait,
exactly.
Two rings about.
Yeah, maybe 1952. I'm not 100% sure off the top of
Google
my
it.
head.
It's not wiki. But yeah, the point is that we were just mind blown when we got that far.
And then Space War, obviously, it wasn't that far after. That was in the 60s again, on the PDP-10 machines in laboratories and things like that in universities.
Yes.
So again, all of that predates Pong, which wasn't until 1972.
Yeah.
So Pong is definitely not the first.
No.
So, what are your favourite types of games to play? Like genres,
Modern or retro?
retro
Platforms.
platforms.
I
Yeah,
love platformers.
they did it well.
Yeah, 3D platformers as well. If you were to say my favourite game, I've probably been on it here today, so it's not a platformer. My favourite game, it's my first game ever. It's my true love. It's Asteroids. I love the game.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
It's so
Asteroids,
pure. It's
yeah.
so simple.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I'm not as good as I was
Yeah.
at it. I used to get 60,000 or more. I still on the high score though today and yesterday with a meager score. It's rubbish,
Try and
but
beat
it's
this
enough.
guy.
It's
Yeah,
enough. It was enough to hold it. It's rubbish. You'll beat it.
So, you also said when we were talking about the Pong first video game, what's it, that you do other things like documentary-based stuff and videos and content.
Yeah. So my retro.
Which channel is that? Is that Retro?
On my Retrospecs channel. So my Retrospecs channel will cover documentaries on retro systems or the history of the controller or history of, I think I do the Avengers, so all the Avenger characters, what video games they've ever been in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the main ones are the Hulk and Thor and Iron Man. Every video game they were ever in,
Yeah.
from the first one to up until they weren't retro anymore.
Right, yeah.
So up until the film release, and then after MCU I stopped because
Okay.
there's too many.
So, what consoles do you own?
Now, if you'd have asked me that question a few years back, it would be a lot more because I had to sell some due to family crisis. But I still own a lot of the ones I'm really keen on.
Dear to your heart, yeah.
Yeah, so I've still got SNES and I've still got the NES, still got Game Boy Color, Game Boy Original. I have a Mega Drive, I have a Saturn, I have a Dreamcast, so I'm not
There
just
you go.
Nintendo.
Master System?
I'm a bit of everything. I've got a Master System.
Woo!
I
Two or one?
had both. I had
Nice.
to sell my Links, unfortunately. I had to sell my Vectrex, which saddens me deeply.
Yeah.
And I want one again.
Yeah, well, there's one here, isn't there?
Yeah, and
Been
so
destroying that, have you?
I've been on it a few
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
So yeah, I used to own every system. When they came out, I bought most of them on release day, and I used to keep them all.
Right,
And it got to the
okay.
point where you go through some stages where you need money, and some of them go, and that's
Yeah,
how they kind of went. So I've not got as big a collection as some of the big guys. Obviously, they.
Oh yeah.
I haven't got the room for it,
Yeah,
to be
He
fair.
doesn't either. That's So, apart from RetroSesh,
Yeah.
what's your favourite YouTube channel?
Ooh, you put me on the spot now.
This could be. It doesn't have to be gaming. Just be in general.
I haven't got a favourite because I like a variety.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lots of different people I admire. So in the retro scene,
Yeah.
I've got to say, Nostalgia Nerd, love his stuff. Ashens, the amount
course,
of
yeah.
the amount of attention to detail and the amount of information
I
the
know,
guy's got.
yeah.
Larry Bundy.
He's famous. Going back to Ashen, sorry. Famous
Yeah.
just for having his hands going hello, and then like
Yeah, absolutely.
playing
Just-
with some hot dogs. In
Absolutely,
the
and
but
Reviewing
actually,
all day
how you
breakfast
can
on
make that entertaining.
Yeah.
Credit to the guy because he does, and
yeah,
people watch
literally
it.
pioneered
Yeah.
it. But then, yeah, as you say with other videos, super knowledgeable, really.
Yeah, Larry Bundy.
Well, it's got to be one of
knowledge
the
and things like that as well. I love Larry
Yeah.
Bundy.
Okay.
So
I haven't actually watched Larry Bundy.
yeah, very good fact hunts he does and lots of things like that. So
Fact Hunt.
yeah, like
Okay.
video game fact hunt. So he'll come out with things that you may never have heard of before.
Okay.
So very, very knowledgeable guy. He released a couple of books, published a couple of books.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nostalgia Nerd House as well. So yeah, these guys are very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I'm not to the level I want to publish a book, but yeah, these guys, I do have a lot of respect for a lot of them. So I can't pick one really.
Okay.
Okay,
But you've dropped a few. You've name dropped a few. I'm sure we'll help Ashton's grow a bit.
So, where can we find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel Spexxy, and also on my YouTube channel Retrospecs, which guess which one's for which there, and also on Twitch with Spexxy. Again, you'll find me on
And
Spexxy.
Twitter.
On Twitter, I don't do that because I can never remember my Twitter. It's Spexxy, but it's not spelled right.
Oh.
So you won't find me by
If-
typing in
if you
Spexxy.
Search long and hard enough, you'll
Retrospecs
find
with an
it.
underscore in the middle. You
And
will find me.
what's your display picture? It's a picture. It's a cartoon. It's a caricature of
It's a
yourself.
pixelated version of myself.
There you go. There's not that many.
So you'll find it.
You'll be able to. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been another SlabberSesh, and we shall see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.